Yo, welcome back to another episode of On the Spot Sports. I'm Jack, and today's episode we're joined by a very special guest, current professional hockey player Ryan Glazer with the Indiana Sentinels of the Federal Prospects Hockey League. But before he spent time in the Fed with the Twin Cities Thunderbirds and the Indiana Sentinels this year, he spent 3 years at Morrisville State College at NCAA Division III. And even before that, he played junior hockey in the Northern Ontario Junior Hockey League, the MJAHL, the OJHL, and the CCHL as well before going to college and starting his pro career. So really excited to get you on, Ryan. So welcome to the show, Ryan Glazer.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm really excited.
Yeah, of course. It's good to get you on, and I'm sure like you've had some good times this past week just playing games and everything, but like this has been your first pro season so far, and you started out with the Twin City Thunderbirds before joining the Indiana Sentinels for the last couple months. So like what has been your first pro year like for you?
Yeah, no, it's definitely been an interesting few months so far. Feels like a lot more than a few months. At the end of like our college season, we have guys that go pro. I decided
Yeah.
not to last year, but we've followed our guys that have, and a lot of the guys from my college have actually ended up in this league, and we're kind of spread around a lot. So it is interesting to be in the mix and play against some old teammates.
Yeah, because you got Jonah Grazzy's over the Grazzy's plays in the Fed too. I know he was one of your teammates, Trevor Grasby. Like how has it been like adjusting to the level and just you have familiar faces as well, like Jonah on the team, so I'm sure that helps as well.
Yeah, we got a lot of college guys in this league, so it's a lot better than a lot of people say it is. The pace of play, I'd say, is different. Passes are more on the tape, less
Yeah.
chip and go, a lot more puck control. So definitely learning how to play with the puck rather than chasing it all around has been a big part of the game that I'm learning still.
Yeah, that's a good part of the game to learn. Like you go to practice every day, get the reps, and you're obviously and you obviously like you put up a good year so far with Indiana with 14 goals and 3 assists, 17 points in 15 games. So what's going right for you in Indiana there?
Yeah, no, I think I'm just making the most of my opportunity here. Like versus college, like we only run three lines and maybe a 10th forward versus college where you're 13 forward. So you're getting that many more shifts, that much more ice time, and getting more into the flow of the game is a lot easier, I find here.
Yeah, that's good, and just getting the reps and the experience. But you started the year in Twin City with the Thunderbirds in Winston-Salem, and it's like how was your experience there? Like the atmosphere I've heard is one of the best ones in the Fed. So like how was that?
Yeah, no, it was really incredible down there. Nice warm weather, able to go golfing after practice some days. A very much older, experienced group with a lot of guys with experience in the East Coast League and have played in this league for 5, 6, 7, 8 years. So really just soaking things out of them and trying to learn what it is to be a pro. But then coming here where I might not necessarily be one of the older guys, but we have a much younger core.
Yeah.
So really just navigating the pro lifestyle and how to really make the most of it.
Yeah, what is it about learning to be a pro from those guys that have played in the coast and higher levels and like very much so vets in the Fed?
Honestly, what I really took away from them was finding something away from the rink. Because, yes, we're hockey players and that's what we live and die for. But if you focus your entire life on hockey, you're going to drive yourself crazy.
Yeah.
So you got to find something away from the rink so you can kind of keep that mental sanity. So for us here, like we like to watch a lot of movies and have a good camaraderie with between all the guys.
Yeah, I always see the Instagram stories of you guys just reviewing movies and who has picked the worst movie so far?
Honestly, no one's really picked that bad of movies. Noah Hippolyte Smith has actually been on a heater lately, so we've actually given him the remote a fair little bit.
There you go. Yeah, yeah, it's always a good way to settle down and get away from the rink, like you said, and like because like you said, like you think hockey all the time, you're gonna drive yourself crazy, and you're not gonna be able to perform to the best of your ability when you are at the rink.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you spent 3 years at Morrisville State College before turning pro. So like, what was that commitment like to Morrisville State before when you were playing juniors and then make that decision to go to college?
Yeah, so I took some online courses while in junior, so the transition for me to get back into school wasn't as drastic as it was for some. but your days are very long because you're on the ice probably 6 times a day, a
Yeah.
week, and you've got class, and I was working a job at the library, and you're running all over the place, and your workouts and your off the ice commitments, working other teams' games. So you're very busy. So time management was insane. As we're here, like your sole responsibility is hockey. We have some community stuff that we do, but a lot more downtime, I'd say, here
Yeah,
in
for
the pro life.
yeah, for sure. And you have to find that balance. Like I know you said like it wasn't that big of a transition, but you still got to find that balance between hockey, going to practice, the social life as well, and school. So like how was that transition to just balance everything again and really get back into the school grind?
Yeah, no, getting back into the school thing was good because everything was kind of laid out for like you had your free time on the weekends if you weren't playing. Obviously, like those couple
Yeah.
months before the season started, we were there for a little bit, and then once the hockey season ended, we had that time there. But when you were in the thick of things, like it was just hockey. Like all minds were kind of focused on that, and like it was a very small school, so there weren't that many distractions around town. So the rest of the people we were associating with were also athletes, so they were kind of in that same mentality as we were.
Yeah.
Mind you, we're a little bit older because we come in at 21 as freshmen versus the other athletes are 18. So we kind of stuck to ourselves for the most part, anyways. So it was easier just to kind of keep to ourselves and do our thing where we wanted to. And then when it came down to it, we just put in the work.
Yeah. What were some of your favorite college hockey memories throughout your 3 years there?
Definitely beating Oswego on their teddy bear toss night as our school, Morrisville. We played in a lot of special event nights, and being able to beat them was definitely one of the highlights for sure.
Yeah.
Scoring some goals in front of family. College games a lot harder and not as many games. So when my family was able to come out to watch a game to score for them was definitely pretty cool too.
Yeah, those are always good memories to have. But like what has been the transition like from like what would you compare like the pro game to like the college game like you said like everyone's a lot more on you in the college game.
Honestly, the biggest thing for me, I'd say, is the practices. So like in the college, like our practices, like you are battling against another, let's say 15 or 16 forwards for 12 or 13 spots. So every practice is like game 7 where you're
Yeah.
just trying to get into that lineup, especially as a freshman with a whole bunch of upperclassmen who have like earned their time. So in college and pro right now, like a couple guys go down with injuries, a trade happens here, a guy leaves, all of a sudden like you're short bodies and you're pulling guys in from other leagues to come play games, and you have so much more opportunity here, I find. So I find I play less stress because my leash is a little bit longer, and I'm able to really just play my game without worrying about, oh, if I make a mistake, I'm going to get scratched for the next weekend against for SUNYAC weekend, you know?
Yeah, exactly. But I want to go back to the pro to Indiana a little bit here. You put up a 4 point or 4 goal night a couple weeks ago. Like how special was that to get four goals in a pro game?
Yeah, honestly, it all happened really quick too. It was like the half end of the first period. I potted 3 goals, and it was really cool. Like I said, like my whole family was there too for them to witness. That was really, really special for me.
Yeah, yeah, it's just like, you never think to get that you're gonna get 4 goals and then you get a hat trick in the first period and then you get one more to top it off and was that was against Port Huron, wasn't it?
So no, that was against Watertown. My
Gotcha.
first college, my first pro goal was against Port Huron. I ended up scoring 2 more. So my first goal, I scored 3 in that game. It was also very cool for our first team win in history. To be part of that was really special.
Yeah, what was that night like? First win in franchise history, you put up your first pro goal, got a hat trick as well. Like, what was the whole emotions throughout that game?
Yeah, no, that was honestly probably the beginning of a rivalry with Port Huron that we are now a very fun thing we get to experience with them. But yeah, we scored 5 in that first period. We came back to the room up 5-1, and we were like, all right, guys, like game's not over. We got to keep
Yeah,
going. So that was good to get that monkey off my back and get the wins rolling for everyone.
yeah. I remember watching that game. That game was huge. Five goals right out the bat, like in the first period. Like, can this happen, or are we just gonna somehow like blow it?
Yeah, if you could score 5, they could score 5.
Yeah, exactly. But you guys ended up getting that first win, so that was cool, and I'm sure you guys had a good time after too.
Yeah, well, we played again the next night, and I think we lost that one, but it was nice to get that first one. And we ended up sweeping a weekend against them. a couple months down the road. So
Yeah, that's huge. But going back to Morrisville State, your first year, you played 13 games. Like, was that those 13 games like just to get into the college game?
yeah, no, it was very different than coming out of juniors because, like I said, like we had a very big roster, especially that freshman year for me. And you're going up against guys that have been there for 2, 3 years
Yeah,
already. Coach has known them their whole career, and you're the new guy. And if things are going good, they could be going well. If not, then you could be sitting watching games from the stands, and it's really tough to just stay motivated, stay hungry, because it's a long season, but it's a short season, and you're just trying to work your way into that lineup to maybe play 5, 6 minutes a night and make the most of those.
yeah. How do you stay motivated when you're going through games like that where you have to think about being put in the lineup even if it's for 5, 6 minutes, like you said.
Yeah, no, like I said, like practices kind of felt like game 7 because
Yeah.
you know what you're working for, and like I'm gonna say frustration of being scratched hurt, like it hurts a lot, and you're like, all right, I hate this feeling. So
Yeah.
you're doing everything you can just to stay in that lineup and give yourself a shot to play the weekend, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Your second year you played 17 games, play a little more, and then you had a standout year your third year with 14 points in 23 games. Like, what were those next 2 years like just to get comfortable, get the more game experience and really take off your third year?
Yeah, so that second year we pretty much had the same core guys. It was the junior class from the year before, almost everyone came back. So it was kind of the same lineup you're going up against for that next year. So I did pretty much the same in terms of points wise, maybe a few more games. Just trying to stay healthy also because like it's a very physical game.
Yeah.
And then that third year was my senior year actually. Um, I think we had 15 freshmen that year, so it was only really my junior year. So I was still not really have my boots completely wet, but I was able to get some opportunities on the power play, on the PK, and get a regular shift to really make the most of my time out there.
Yeah, like you say, you just gotta make the most of out of your experience and your time that you're out there and just put up the points and do the right things throughout your game.
That's it, exactly.
Yeah, throughout college and like now pro, like what would you say like your game style is like?
Definitely a mix of gritty and a little bit of skill. I try and using my speed where I can. Definitely trying to maximize like the timing of when I'm going to use it. Maybe not going as fast as I can all the time, and really just like sensing when it's necessary, when it's not. College game, I find the shifts are a little bit shorter. You got to use your full energy, get off the ice pretty quick. Now I'm able to really say like, okay, like I could ease into it, and then I'll have a little bit more energy at the end of the shift, and then get off the ice, let the next guys go because you're only running 3 lines, so you don't want to burn yourself out too quickly in the first period.
Yeah, you still got 60 minutes left of the game. You just gotta take your time and not burn yourself out in the first minute that you're out there.
Exactly.
Yeah, but before your college career at Morrisville State, you played junior hockey for a few years, and you played in the CCHL, the CCHL 2, the OJHL, the MJHL, and the NOJHL. So you've had quite the experience going throughout these different leagues in junior hockey. So like, what was your junior hockey like? Your junior
Yeah.
hockey experience?
Yeah, definitely a bit of a world traveler. I did stay in Canada for all of it, but I did get some miles on my car.
It's life
Yeah,
of a
so
hockey player.
exactly. I started off in Brockville in the CCHL too. So moving away from home for the first time at 17 definitely helped shape, honestly, the person I am more than the hockey player that I am. Learning how to deal with the ups and downs, being away from home, getting yourself up in the morning, food, figuring that out. Billet parents or not your parents. They are your parents, but
Yeah.
still a different little lifestyle that is. And learning how to like deal with like being in like a small town where the spotlight's kind of on you and everyone knows who you are, what you're doing. So that really helped me in terms of like how to be professional at a young age, especially at 17 and 18 years old.
Yeah, you just got to grow up a little bit throughout that time because, like you said, like the spotlight's on you, and you do one wrong thing, like everyone knows about it.
Mhm. In terms of the hockey, I found myself successful quite early. I think I was a point per game my first year in Brockville, so that was really good. I got a couple call ups into the junior A team, so that was really cool. And I wanted to go back to play junior A that second year. I ended up back with the junior B team before making the jump over to Trenton in the COVID year. That was a little bit tougher for me because physicality is a big part of my game, and we weren't really allowed to hit anybody. It was like a full international set of rules with no contact. So we were wearing bubbles with masks and couldn't hit anybody. We had no fans, so couldn't be in the rink more than 15 minutes before your ice time. So that was tough. And then I remember my first pro moment. I was out for a family dinner, and I was just in the middle of being traded. So we're outside. It was raining, so we're in a little alcove, and I get a call from my advisor, and we're waiting for the car. And I'm like, oh, I'm getting traded. Where am I going? And all these random people are just kind of looking at me like, oh my God, like, is he something? Is he like important? Like, oh, he's getting traded. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to Nova Scotia. And they're like, what? Like, it was just so funny because it was like super irrelevant, though, junior A hockey player getting traded from the OJ to the MHL or whatever. So packed my bags, shipped out there for about a month of training camp and a few games, and I wasn't really getting the ice time I wanted, especially as a 20-year-old. So I asked for a trade, and I went up to Hearst and the NOJ, and I had the best time there. Honestly, I cannot be thankful enough for all the little pieces that had to fall into place that I ended up there. Whatever stroke of luck it was, had a great time. Battled some injuries, definitely not the smoothest, but definitely had the best time playing hockey up there.
Yeah, I've heard that the NOJ, the Northern Ontario Junior Hockey League, is one of the prettiest junior leagues that you could play out of with. And so, like, I'm sure there's beautiful sites up there too. It's like, what was it like playing the Noj and really helping that development to be the player that you are starting to grow from college?
Well, first off, it is freezing cold up there. Love Hearst, but when there's snow on the ground from early November all the way until like April, it's
Yeah.
not super
Wow.
easy to wake up in the morning, but it's a good thing I had a heated bathroom floor in my billet house.
There you go.
Yeah, no, it was honestly the moment there for me was when I got traded. I drove like 9 hours home from the Maritime, stayed at home for a day, and then I did the 12-hour trip up north all in one day. So I left at like 3 in the morning, got there at like 5. So I'm walking around the rink for a game that I'm not playing in, but I had to go do some like testing, concussions, whatever, just to get approved to play. And I'm walking around the rink saying hi to the guys, and the little kid runs up to me, and goes, Ryan, Ryan, why aren't you playing tonight? And I'm like, how do you know who I am? Like, I just got here 20 minutes ago. So that was really cool for me. I'm just walking around like the grocery store, like people know who you are. It was a very small, tight knit community. And I still have connections up there too that I'm very grateful for.
Yeah, and like when you play in places like that where everyone like knows and cares about you, like it makes it so much less stressful to play there because you can relax a little bit and you're not so tense. Like obviously you want to perform and everything, like when you're on the ice, but like you also know people care about you. It doesn't matter how good you play or not.
That's it. Like we had a crazy playoff run that year. So we were against Powassan for round one, and we had a whole following, probably 100 fans that came 6 hours down for game six. And I was able to clinch that one in overtime, and we were all celebrating with them. And then when we got back in the middle of the morning, like a bunch of fans in the parking lot honking their horns for us. So it was really, really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. But like throughout your junior career, like what was the biggest thing you learned if you were going to be successful at the next level, which is college? Like what would you have to do to be better yourself?
Honestly, especially early on, like I'd stress myself out if I wasn't performing well. And at the end of the day, you're playing hockey because you love it and just to have fun.
Yeah.
Whether or not you're producing, you're scoring points, you're taking penalties, go out there, work hard. There's no question, but you have to have fun. If you're not having fun, then something's wrong because we're not doing this because of the glamour and all of that. We're really doing it because we love it.
Yeah, especially when you go up the levels and you're playing the minors, like you like we both know how it is, and it's not glorious, but we do it for fun, and we love the game, and it's just a blessing to play at the level that we are.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, but like you said, you battled some injuries throughout your time in juniors and faced some adversity. So like, what was it like facing that adversity and just learning how to like get over speed bumps in the road in your journey?
Yeah, so up in Hearst, I was dealing with some hip issues, and like Hearst is, if you don't know where it is, it's in the middle of nowhere. So like your closest Walmart's an hour away, your closest Starbucks is 3 hours away. I was actually lucky enough, my billet mom was the doctor of the town, basically. So she was able to kind of speed me through the process of going to see people. But it got to a point where no one knew what was wrong with me. So I had to go home, and I'm going for x-rays, I'm going for MRIs, I'm going for this. Got to go to physio, running around trying to figure out what was wrong. until I finally did figure out what was wrong. And I was lucky that COVID kind of pushed things later. So the season got pushed further back a little bit. So I got some more time. And when I was finally ready to go up, and the coach was super understanding, he's like, yeah, like do what you got to do, like come back and finally get back into playing. And I was never actually able to play at my like full capacity. So the game slowed down for me, which ended up helping me, but I wasn't able to skate as fast as I can or hard as I can, but still trying to help my team. And we did have a crazy playoff run. We went to game seven of the final series, ended up losing in overtime.
That's a heartbreaker. But you're still playing. You're still got to play in like playoff hockey, like especially in the championship, is when the competition gets even harder. So just to be able to play against harder competition, like everything's on the line, like it makes it so much. It makes it that much more fun too.
Yeah, and not a lot of people get to say they played in two game sevens. We came out victorious on one. We fell in the other one. We went up 3-0 in the series and lost the next four, which has only happened a few times in the NHL, but I get to say I've been a part of it. And I always say everything happens for a reason. It's one of my biggest phrases. So my plan was to, if we won, we were going to go to the Centennial Cup out in Saskatchewan that year. But after we lost, I was like, all right, what are my options? So I ended up committing to Morrisville, and it led me out here. So I
Yeah,
will say everything happens for a reason, one way or another.
yeah. Everything happens for a reason, and you're in Indiana and having a good time there. So everything seems to be working out right now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but you're from the Montreal, Quebec area, so like what was it like growing up in Quebec there and just playing youth hockey and like when did you get into playing the sport?
Yeah, no, I've been a Montrealer my whole life. I haven't actually lived a whole year at home since I'm, I think, 16 years old now. Um, I'd say our minor hockey system is probably one of the more competitive ones in the country. So I actually never played the AAA route. I was always the, I guess, house hockey, you call it. Then I guess the travel, the double letters we did a little bit later. So I only ended up really playing high school hockey when I was 16 and getting an opportunity, which was also a whim of a meeting I went to then go try out for a junior B team that I somehow ended up making a training camp for. But yeah, no, I never really played the high levels in minor hockey. So I was never really exposed to like those camps, those intensives, and that kind of a thing.
Yeah, you just worked your way up and just made the most of all your opportunities and that's all you can ask for.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, but like what was that story that really made you fall in love with the game at a young age that you wanted to continue to do this sport as long as you can?
The one thing I could remember from way back when, so I've been a Habs fan for as long as I could remember, it was skating at three, playing hockey by four. And funny enough, like when I go up for little skating lessons, like the buzzer at the end of the ice time would scare me and I'd freak out and I'd start crying. So my parents would have to like take me off the ice early. And then it got to a point where I was actually living behind an outdoor rink, and every moment that I could remember as a kid, I'd spend out there playing with the older kids as like little one with the helmet on, where they're all drinking beers and doing whatever, and I'm out there trying to beat them. And then eventually I became the older kid and playing with the little kids. So those moments for me are really special, especially now when I get to go back home sometimes over a break and play with the younger kids. It's really special to me.
Yeah, you just got to give back to the younger generation because you were that kid once, and you know how you feel as a little kid looking up to these guys, and now you're that guy.
Exactly.
Yeah, like I always say, like it's cool when little kids like come up to you and like want your autograph or your picture because like you were the person, you were that kid when you're younger, and now you're living that kid's dream.
Yeah, that's it, especially here in Carolina as well. After games, we go outside and the fans are all asking for autographs on pucks. And like for some guys, it's like, oh, like why am I doing this? And like I'm nobody, but like for them, like you're everything.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact that I was that kid that like wanted the autographs. I was like, oh my God, that's a professional hockey player. So I'm more than happy to sit there and sign autographs for as long as they need.
Yeah, exactly. That's awesome. Like what has been like the weirdest thing that you've had to sign?
I signed an iPhone. That was a little bizarre. Signed a couple body parts.
Yeah. Yeah, when I was in Watertown 2 years ago, I signed a kid's forehead and
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do at first, but the parent was like, "Yeah, you could do it." I was like, I guess I can now."
we did this skate for the elementary school. I guess they were grades three, four, five, and six or something like that. And they were finding pucks. They were asking us to sign. Sure, cool. And then they were asking us to sign their sweaters. I'm like, your parents are gonna kill us. Like
Yeah.
putting Sharpie on your hoodies, like they're. But yeah, no, hard to say no.
Yeah, exactly. It's all good times, and you know the little you is excited just to be able to do that.
100%.
Yeah, but like to before we wrap this episode up, like what's some like advice that you'd give younger players looking to get to that next level, whatever level that may be?
As long as you love the game, keep pushing. Don't let anybody tell you no. Sometimes things are gonna get tough, but those are the moments they're gonna make you if they don't break you.
Yeah, that's I love that quote that the piece of advice. Like if you're not having fun, like you're doing something wrong. Like why are you playing if you're not having fun? Because that's why we started, because it's fun and we want to take it as far as we can.
Yeah, you got to play for yourself ultimately. If it's something you want to do it as long as you can because
Yeah.
it's not going to last forever.
Yeah, exactly. It's like what is your why of like why you continue to play throughout, like if you look back through when you started to what you're doing now, like what's your why?
Like I said before, I've been cut so many times, can't even count how
Yeah.
many on two hands. So a lot of people told me no, and then now looking back, I talked to some of my friends that I grew up with, and they're like, "Yo, like you played juniors? That's insane. No one would have ever thought you would have been the guy to play juniors. Oh, you played college? That's even crazier. That you were never supposed to be that guy. You're playing pro now." Like so for
Yeah.
me, like for all the times I've been said no and I've been shunned out, it's cool to be able not to look back and say haha, but it does feel good on the inside to know that I put my mind to something, I worked really hard at it, and it is paying off for me.
Yeah, and, like getting cut sucks, and like a lot of people just give up after getting cut. But like, what's another piece of advice, or when you do get cut, to just forget about it, learn from that experience, and just continue to keep pushing as long as you can.
Well, that's even it. I literally got cut from a team 2 months ago in Carolina, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, I'm not going to go play in Indiana because it's this, that, or whatever." But if you love the game that much, you're gonna make it work somehow to go find somewhere, go play, and keep putting your best foot forward every single day.
Yeah, exactly. That's like something like I say too. Like I I I love the game. Like if you love the game, keep going, keep pushing, and just learn from that experience that you've had before. Like you can take so much away from the different tryout camps, or if you're there for a month, like you could take away so many different aspects of what you can help your game with. And like sometimes it doesn't even have to do with your game. It's just wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, and like I'll always say, like a bad day of playing hockey is a better day than a good day at a 9 to 5 in an office, right?
Yeah, exactly. But my last question for you is obviously a lot of people like listen to music before games, before practice. Like what do you listen to?
Since I've moved to Ontario, I've become a huge country guy. My family all thinks I'm crazy for it, but love my country music.
What
We
what
were
uh, what
talking
kind?
about, like we were talking about before, we were just in Nashville, so
Yeah,
Morgan Wallen
there
definitely
you
up
go.
there for sure. Luke Combs, I'm hoping to go see him when I go back home in a few months now.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with either of those artists. Like yeah, like my playlist goes from like country to rap to pop. Like it's all over the place, but you gotta
Yeah,
love a good country song for sure.
no question about it.
Yeah, but Ryan, I want to say thank you again for coming on the show, and I really appreciate your time and want to wish you the best of luck with Indiana for the rest of the year.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, of course.